Free-flowing rivers mean connection. They mean connection with people, connection with communities, connection for wildlife, and connection to the history of all the different people and wildlife that use those rivers before us. Migration to me is universal. Everyone has to move and transfer to different places, whether it's people, fish, animals, all different species need to migrate. We migrate for loved ones, we migrate for food, we migrate to raise our children or babies, and we all need open space and free-flowing rivers to be able to move and to grow in this world together.
Migratory fish all over the world make this journey, traveling through rivers from saltwater to freshwater and vice versa, and entire ecosystems rely on their movement.
These migratory fish are not just using rivers as highways. They're actually contributing to what's going on in the river. Every little glass eel that moves its way up a tributary is also bringing ocean nutrients with it. An adult salmon comes up a river and it's literally feeding the forest with things from the ocean. And then the forest returns those nutrients back to the ocean through the flow of water.
And they do quite a lot for people too. Globally, but especially in the global south, over 100 million people depend on migratory fish for their primary source of protein. Salmon fisheries in the Pacific provide over 15,000 jobs in Bristol Bay, Alaska alone. River herring in the Atlantic are used for lobster bait, support recreational fishing for striped bass, and are forage food for cod and haddock. The African tigerfish provides protein and also income as a recreational fish. The Dorado catfish, with the world's longest freshwater migration, is central to the diets and traditions of indigenous peoples of the Amazon. But now, migratory fish around the world face challenges that threaten their populations.
These fish, over hundreds and thousands of years, are continually coming back to the streams that they call home, the streams that they were born in, and the streams that they want to raise their young, but they're unable to do so because they can't get upstream.
Barriers such as dams, undersized culverts, and poorly constructed weirs are a major reason for the over 80% worldwide decline of migratory freshwater fish.
Migratory fish are really the foundation of the entire ecosystem and their food chain. So if those systems collapse, you will see catastrophic and snowballing effects of other species not being able to find food. You're going to start to see the big charismatic species that you really care about decline because of those migratory fish species populations that you can't see as much.
Billions of dollars have and are still being invested into restoring rivers in the U.S. with the infrastructure law funding through NOAA and other agencies. And billions more will be invested in Europe as part of the new nature restoration law to restore free-flowing rivers. Not only for the fish's sake, but for our sake too.
People chose rivers to find their civilizations. They're so tied to us culturally as well, and it's incredibly important, I think, to go back to that and have a little bit more respect for these river systems and kind of an acknowledgement about the connection between people and rivers.
To strengthen that connection, World Fish Migration Day invites communities across the globe to celebrate free-flowing rivers, migratory fish, and the people trying to do this good work. Since 2014, World Fish Migration Day has connected over 1,000 organizations and millions of people to their local waterways through field visits, educational programs, and collaborative art.
What I love is that every student has their own interaction with these animals. For some students, it is a brief period of trepidation or even revulsion. And very often it's, ew, is that first response. But then you see a student hold a glass eel in their hand or feel an adult eel slip between their own fingers. And you see that ew turn into an ooh, like an admiration, almost like a connection to something bigger.
I think it's incredibly powerful and amazing to come together and celebrate these migratory fish species. You are welcoming them back home from a long journey. It's almost like you haven't seen a family member in a long time and you're having them back over for a holiday meal. Like they're coming back to their environment. And I think that kind of idea creates a real sense of hope and community.
This bountiful migration and the balance it maintains all comes back to free-flowing rivers.
What free-flowing rivers mean to me is hope and opportunity. A free-flowing river is a chance for life. It's a chance for fish to move within that river. It's a chance for the people that live along that river to be connected to the rest of the world and connected to that river through the fish that are in there. So a free-flowing river and an image of people and fish on that river, that to me is a hopeful future. You live in a beautiful place full of incredible creatures, and the decisions that we as individuals and as communities make will guarantee that abundance for future generations.
So what are you doing for free-flowing rivers?